Hey guys, my name's Brendon. I'm going to be working with From Bed to Dead this year. Wanted to go into the buck that I shot this previous year and kind of tell you the story behind it, what all went down, how it happened. So this buck, the area that I shot him in, I was actually pretty unfamiliar with. I had been hunting quite a bit of my solid good spots real hard the week before I ended up shooting this buck. And the day that I went out the first time to this area, I had scouted it previously in the spring, and I had a general idea of how it was laid out, but I didn't know it quite as in depth as I usually like to know a property before I hunt it. But I had a weird wind this day that didn't really work out with anything else that I wanted to hunt. So decided to go out and hit this area and give it a try. So went out there, and I had a specific spot picked out that I actually didn't even make it to, just because the wind was weird in the forecast before I went out, and when I got out there, it was not working out even exactly for the spot that I wanted to go to. So the way this spot lays out, it's kind of a river bottom area. It's got some ag in there and some oak ridges and all this kind of stuff. And I wasn't sure exactly which bedding area I was gonna be seeing bucks or deer come out from. So I decided to set up on a field edge, which sounds a little weird, but this particular field is not easy to access. It's a long walk back in there. And so I decided to give it a whack and kind of just sat on the ground, field edge, to see what direction, what bedding area these deer were coming out of. And didn't see anything until about 30 minutes before shooting light was going to end. And I saw two does sprinting around the wood line and coming straight at me. And about 10 seconds after that, around the corner comes this buck. The two does that he was chasing around got within 50 yards of me, and this buck stopped at about 80, and he just stood there staring at those does. Those does weren't moving, he wasn't moving, just standing there staring at him, wouldn't move a muscle. And I watched until it got dark. I couldn't see anything anymore, and waited another half an hour or so and just kind of crawled my way a couple hundred yards back out the direction that my truck was parked at, and got out of there. So the next time I went to go hunt it, I think it was 3 or 4 days later. It was 4 days later, had the same wind, same setup, and I went in a little bit further in the direction that this buck came from. I wasn't quite sure that the area that he had come out from, I was not familiar with at all. So I didn't know exactly where he was bedded. I didn't know any of this stuff, but I figured I was going to work my way in there, maybe hunt by hunt, and see if I could track him down and figure out his exact area. So I cut in probably a couple hundred yards from where I saw him come out, and set up, and ended up having another buck come through pretty early in the evening, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and he was just not quite big enough for me to throw an arrow at, but I figured it was a good sign if I was seeing deer that early. Still had 2-3 hours daylight left, and sure enough, and the next deer I saw were the same two does that that buck was chasing a few days earlier. Did the same exact thing. They came sprinting out, and I got everything turned on, camera ready when I saw those does, and sure enough, he was right behind them, doing the exact same thing, chasing them in the exact same spot. And as you'll see, I didn't get the shot on camera. I had a shooting window where I expected to stop him, and it just didn't work out exactly, but it couldn't have worked out any more perfectly. I think he was at 14 yards when I shot, doing the exact same thing that he was 4 days ago, and that's pretty much how it happened.
Bip, bip, bip.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. After the shot, I saw him run off, and he went some real thick stuff, and I knew it was a good hit. I thought it might have been a little bit high, so I ended up packing everything out and calling a couple buddies and waiting a couple hours, but we got right back in and chased after him, and he was dead as soon as he hit the thick stuff. That would be the way. What did he run? 100 yards maybe? Yep.
Not even. Woo. Oh, he is beautiful, man.
Look at that boy. Yeah. Oh
Yeah, you got him,
What is
man.
it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
He is a beast
5,
too.
6, 7, 8, 9 pointer. It's a good hit, great buck. You know, it was nice to learn that area a little bit more, and got some more scouting in that area this spring, and I'm excited to get back out there. I know we found some sheds, and some of the sign that we found back there is real good. We got a shed pulled from there this spring that it's bigger than anything I've held in my hands before. So we're hoping that buck's still around. That shed that I found was it was definitely a couple years old. It was chewed up, had a little bit of moss growing on it, but we're excited to get back out there this year and see what we can do.